The artists presented in this DVD set are people in the community of Brockport, New York, some of whom have regional or national reputations in their own areas of artistic endeavor. There are 4 women: Smagorinsky, Hickerson, Fink, and Skoog, and 1 man, Stewart. There is 1 sculptor, 1 painter, 1 watercolor artist, 1 jeweler, and 1 who is an artist and an art activist. These individuals will represent the artistic contingent resident in the community of Brockport, although there are, of course, others who could have been included as well. 4 of the artists, Smagorinsky, Hickerson, Fink, and Skoog, were career teachers in public schools in Brockport and Hilton, New York, a nearby community. 3 of them, Smagorinsky, Hickerson, and Fink, only began their second careers in art after they had retired, a not uncommon story in the recent history of artists in contemporary America. Diane Hickerson, a watercolor artist, was born in Brockport and married a man who was an administrator at the SUNY College at Brockport. Helen Smagorinsky, a contemporary folk artist, attended college at the SUNY College at Brockport and married a man who was an administrator at the college. Alicia Fink, a jeweler, came to Brockport as a Spanish language instructor for a Peace Corps training program and married a faculty member at the college. Lori Skoog, an artist and art activist, came to Brockport to teach in the campus school of the college at Brockport and married a man who attended the college. Stewart, a sculptor, came to Brockport as a faculty member at the college.
The purpose of the Art and Aesthetics Committee is to enhance the beauty of our town. With the help of many community members, we have identified places which can become destinations and places of rest and relaxation. Our intention is to bring community art to these places. Howdy is our first piece of community art. Our committee has worked tirelessly and with great enthusiasm, and with the continued help and support of this community, we will continue with our projects.
In addition to pursuing their own careers in art, some of these artists have been involved in working to transform their community. Sometimes they do this by placing their own art or the art of others in public places, as in the placement of the sculpture Howdy at the Visitors Center on the Erie Canal, or as the placement of prints of Helen Smagorinsky's paintings at the Seymour Public Library in Brockport. Sometimes they do this in assembling the funds necessary to make their community a better place as they see it, as in the organization of the project to place sitting pretty benches throughout the community. And sometimes they do this by trying to influence the community to move in directions that they judge as being beneficial to the community.
They deserve also not only our gratitude, but they deserve the gratitude of the entire community for the contribution they've made to the artistic and aesthetic capital of this community with the contributions they made to the creation and installation of this sculpture.
Thus, art is closely linked with politics, where politics is one way that citizens try to change their community in the way that they wish it to be.
The one silver thread that goes through all the organizations is that they're all volunteer organizations. None of these positions that people hold and none of these positions that people volunteer for are paid. And in all the years I've lived here and in all the years I've been involved and from talking to various mayors across the state, they are certainly amazed by the volunteerism that we have here in Brockport, and I think that is really something unusual. I think they fill a need, they fill a niche, and that is something that I've always wanted to see Brockport do, is to become a little bit more open to art and look at the aesthetic values of what we have in our community, because we're all travelers, we all like to go to different places, and we love art, and we like to see things look beautiful, we like to have great curb appeal. And I think in order to make your community pleasing and to make it interesting and to keep it vibrant, you almost have to have a club or someone like that who's going to take that part of it.
Much of this political activity by artists in Brockport is done by them as volunteers, work that does not benefit the artists themselves monetarily, although it benefits them by making their community a better place to live, in their view. Such volunteerism is a notable feature of the Brockport community, with examples big and small, both in the community of artists and elsewhere.
Here with us today we have the dynamic duo of Bill Stewart and Jeff Jubenville, and together they have given us an artistic treasure known from now on as Howdy, and spell it Howdee.
I've got a mule and her name is Sal, 15 miles on the Erie Canal. She's a good old worker and a good old pal, 15 miles on the Erie Canal. We've hauled some barges in our day, filled with lumber, coal and hay, and every inch of the way we know, from Albany to Buffalo. Low Bridge, everybody down, Low Bridge, for we're coming to a town. And you'll always know your neighbor, you'll always know your pal, if you've ever navigated on the Erie Canal.
On behalf of the Art and Aesthetics Committee, I would like to present Phoebe to the Village of Brockport. There's a little certificate here for you. And we thank you very much for all the support and helping us do our project. There you go.
One more thing. This woman has so many ideas. I tell her she has ideas in her sleep. That as an outgrowth of this, what she has come up with is another group called Art Walks on Water. And she's been visiting communities up and down the canal and inspiring other communities to do the same thing that we've been doing. And Laurie's dream is to have the longest art gallery in the world. It's a great, nice going.
It's working.
Laurie Skoog's project, Art Walks on Water, is a project to link communities along the Erie Canal into one art network with respect to art that already exists in those communities, so that boaters, bikers, and hikers on the canal and others could know of and visit those art objects. There is another artist whose art is included in the series Life in an American Village. Jennifer Hecker is a faculty member of the Department of Art at SUNY College at Brockport. She designed and built a piece of public art that is integrated into a public park in the village of Brockport. The film on Jennifer Hecker's art, however, is included in the DVD set Governance, Service, and Community, since the coverage of her art in the Life in an American Village series takes place within a presentation of a piece of Hecker's public art by the Art and Aesthetics Committee to the village of Brockport. For 4 of the 5 artists in the DVD set Life in an American Village, Art, Self-Actualization, and Community, I have added an interview with an acknowledged expert in that field in order to put the Brockport artist's work into a historical and/or contemporary national context. In the interview with each of those experts, I have asked those experts to speak about that art form in general, as a general introduction to that kind of art, and also to place the Brockport artist within that historical and contemporary art context. This DVD set, Life in an American Village, Art, Self-Actualization, and Community, explores an American history that places the current position of artists of various kinds in one contemporary American village in western New York in stark contrast to that of an America as recently as 50 years ago. As 2 of the experts in art who comment in this DVD set indicate, it would have been virtually impossible 50 years ago for an artist in a community as remote from the art center of New York City, for example, to have gained the regional or national stature that they have while remaining in a community like Brockport. Thus, although this DVD set directs its attention to artists in one small community, the DVD set is also a commentary on the state of art in America today and the changes that have taken place in America in recent years. A diverse set of threads have come together to allow local artists to gain regional and national reputations while working and celebrating lives in their home community, adding to the richness of life in that local community, and indeed seeking to transform the community in the process. Some of these various threads are the incredible expansion of the market for art in America in recent years, the expansion of the products for artists as manufacturers strive to grow their market for new products in art, the impact of the Internet, whereby artists may advertise their own art widely for a relatively small amount of money, the expansion of the public venues in which public art can be displayed, the acknowledgement by various governmental agencies that public art enhances the community, and their determination to set aside public funds for public art, and so forth. Most of the artists presented in this DVD set, Life in an American Village, Art, Self-Actualization, and Community, are older than 50 years of age. Although all of them taught as a profession, 3 of them, Smagorinsky, Hickerson, and Fink, only turned to art as a central focus of their life after retirement. Laurie Skoog, a teacher of art in the public schools, only began to pursue the project Art Walks on Water after retirement. Bill Stewart has continued to work as a sculptor after retirement. Retirement has allowed him to spend more of his time on his work in his own studio. In general, then, these artists are deeply involved as artists in their retirement years and see their art as a deeply fulfilling part of their lives. The community of Greater Brockport benefits from their work, and their art enriches the life of the community. As artists in other communities along the Erie Canal and throughout America find meaning in their art, the communities in which they live will benefit, and America will be richer culturally as a result. The title of this DVD set, Life in an American Village, Art, Self-Actualization, and Community, raises the issue of personal growth and the search for personal fulfillment, and of the need, by most of us, for self-actualization. It exemplifies this need for self-actualization by presenting the cases of 5 artists who live in a small community in upstate New York. Abraham Maslow's assertion that self-actualization is the highest level in the hierarchy of human needs indicates that many people, perhaps all, seek to become more than what they are. In Maslow's words, in a 1943 article, and in the way that gender terms were used at that time, quote, "A musician must make music. An artist must paint. A poet must write, if he is to be at peace with himself. What a man can be, he must be. This is the need we may call self-actualization. It refers to man's desire for fulfillment, namely, to the tendency for him to become actually in what he is potentially, to become everything that one is capable of becoming." Close quote. Maslow exemplified his discussion with individuals who nearly everybody would acknowledge as actualizing their potential in some way. Thomas Jefferson, Albert Einstein, Pablo Casals, Pierre Renoir, Ida Tarbell, Walt Whitman, and Frederick Douglass. This DVD set examines a number of individuals in a small American community who are striving for fulfillment through their art. Too often, in trying to explore our desire to be more fulfilled, we are presented with examples of people who are so far beyond us that considering them as models for our own aspirations makes self-actualization at their level seem impossible. This DVD set presents a more modest set of examples. A number of individuals who have achieved self-fulfillment through their art and who have enriched the lives of their community by their involvement in it as artists and activists. But in those examples, we are more likely to see ourselves and to see models of self-actualization that are closer to what we can wish for ourselves.
Change a fool, but a doggone mule is a mule until she dies. You can change a fool, but a doggone mule is a mule